Good evening, everyone. How are you? I hope you are not missing any classes of June and October 2020 PYQ series that we are actually having. Okay, all the questions we have solved already, and there are few left, so we are trying to solve that questions today. So stay tuned with the channel, subscribe, and the one who are asking for the PDF, I have shared the link in the particular videos that they have asked, and also syllabus. Everything is already uploaded on the channel. You can go and explore. Okay, and all the classes PDF by unit wise. You will get on the Telegram channel, so you can join and get the PDF, class PDF in detail class, which we had already in December 2025. So now we will focus on the most repeated writers, major and minor, and like from all the 10 units, we are going to focus on, okay? And already I have uploaded the 5-year most repeated writers concept theories from all the 10 units, so you can watch that video. I will put the link in the description. So I forgot actually. I hope everything I have to prepare myself, only no helping hand. So that's why I forgot. Let's try to solve the remaining questions today, okay, without a delay. Subscribe the channel and share, okay? And let's start. Thank you so much for joining. So, the major focus here should be on all the most repeated writers, major, minor, their concept that they are associated with, they have given. Okay, and now see the question number 101. Here you can see it is the question from English in India. How English in India started, and what are the who are the peoples who supported, or you can say they were in oppose, and that's how English started, and it is spread throughout the time. And then you can see how we are learning and developing our knowledge in the field of specifically English literature, you can say. So, all about English literature, English specifically by the Britishers and the people who were at the time in India. What was their intention and for which purpose they were trying to spread this and establish the English as language in India. So these type of this unit is also very important. One or two question you're definitely going to find in your exam. So you must practice and prepare. So see the question, this question, okay. The question is Macaulay's Minute of 1835 sought to. So here the example is given here. Sorry, the options you can see. Uh, Option A is saying sought to promote European literature and science among the natives. Okay, this is the first option. Second, impart knowledge of English literature and science through translated text, encourage branches of native learning by more useful studies. And option D, stop expenditure of the publication of Oriental works on spend funds only on English education. So, what was the purpose? What was the aim of Macaulay's Minute? Like they wanted to promote European literature and science among the natives, that means Indians. They wanted to impart knowledge of English literature and science through translated text. They wanted to encourage branches of native learning, or they wanted to stop expenditure on the publication of Oriental works. Okay, so these are the options, and you have to find out the correct answer is A and D only. Okay, so A and D, the option is missing, but here are A and D. That means they wanted to promote European literature and science among the natives. Okay, and D, stop expenditure on the publication of Oriental works and spend funds only on English education. So we all have studied what was their main aim specifically. While they wanted to promote English in India. So Thomas Babington Macaulay is very important. You must not forget to prepare about him. British colonial rule. He was during this time. The period is mentioned here. He was the Governor General's Council in India during that time. We are talking about when we all are under the British rules. So their important document they gave Minute on Indian Education, which is time is mentioned in 1835. So that is why it is known as Macaulay's Minute 1835 because it was time mentioned 1835, it was the year. The general was Thomas Babington Macaulay and the document was Minute on Indian Education. So now we got that why Macaulay's Minute 1835, this tagline we know. So he was actually associated with the concept Anglicist Orientalist controversy. Anglicist and Orientalist, how they were supposed to in favor and they were not in favor. Colonial education policy, cultural imperialism, and also creation of an English educated intermediary class. Okay, so you must remember it was the concept that is associated with specifically Thomas Babington Macaulay. Historical context, if you will see, the debate in early 19th century India was between Orientalist and Anglicist. In the detailed class, I have discussed about this, that who were the Orientalist and Anglicist and what were their aim. So, Orientalist was supported promotion of Sanskrit, Persian, and Arabic learning, while Anglicist supported English education and Western knowledge in India. So, Macaulay strongly supported the Anglicist position. Why? Because they are in favor of English education and Western knowledge. Okay. So, first option was correct, that promote European literature and science among the natives. Here, Macaulay argued that, remember this is very important, European literature and science were superior. English education should introduce Western knowledge to Indians, and the aim was to create a class of person Indian in blood and color. This line is very important, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. Like in all the part of a person, they wanted to promote English. Okay, that's why this statement is correct. D, that they wanted to stop the expenditure. They wanted to expand the expenditure on the publication of Oriental works. Oriental works, the Orientalist people who were support in Sanskrit, Persian, and Arabic language. So basically, they were not in favor that there should be more expenditure, more expenses they are going to expend on publishing the books. So that's why they wanted to stop the expenditure and spend funds, and those spends they wanted to spend only on English education. Okay. So Macaulay here explicitly argued that government funds should not be spent on promoting Sanskrit and Arabic text, and the resources should instead be devoted exclusively to English education. And that's why he rejected support for Oriental learning and called it inferior to European knowledge. So that's why option A and D is correct options. Okay. That means they were in favor of English education and they wanted to stop the expenditure. Now let's see the remaining option. Option B was that they wanted to impart knowledge of English literature and science through translated text. To translated text, no, they highly wanted to promote the English. So why they will go for the translation? Macaulay did not advocate translation into Indian languages as the primary method. Instead, he insisted that education should be imparted directly in English and there no need to translated text. English should be the medium of instruction. This is very important, like that English is going to be the medium of the instruction. So there is no need for the translation or any translated text. Option C was that they wanted to encourage branches of native learning by more useful studies. This is also incorrect here. Macaulay did not aim to strengthen native traditions. We all know कि उनका aim जो था to educate the Indians and to impart the knowledge of English to all the Indians, among all the Indians. More specifically, that it was for their own benefits. This was the main aim, and that's why here they do not wanted to strengthen native traditions. Why would they do that if they are going to lose something? If they will do this, so they want in the favor of strengthening or promoting native traditions. Okay, they are talking about Indians. So that's why he dismissed Sanskrit and Arabic literature by saying that these are the inferiors, and he believed Western knowledge was vastly superior. So, by refuting them, saying this that these languages, Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian, is inferior, and he was totally in favor of English education in India. So now you got to know 1835 Macaulay. Oh, how I am writing? 1835 Macaulay Minot, the name, he was the Governor General, 2nd Feb, you can remember the date and year. So that is why we know this as Macaulay Minot 1835. Okay, because during this time he was the Governor General in India. Let's see the next question. We'll have this English in India specific class now. Now this question, which two of the following statements are applicable to meta language? Meta narrative, meta language, metafication, these are the very important terms. The exam. It is a technical language which describes the properties of language, known as a first order language. Option C, a second order language that replaces a first order language with metaphors. Option D, a second order language. You have to find out the correct answer, that which two. There are only two options are going to be corrected as per the meta language application. Okay, so correct answer is option A and D. The first one, technical language. Meta language is a technical language which describes the properties of language, and D, it is a second order language. Now let's see. Meta language is a language used to talk about language itself. Language itself, that means the property, what is the property of language, how it frame. Example you can have here, that when we say noun is naming word, we are using meta language. We are talking about the naming word. That means all the things that has a name is falls in noun category. So in it started by Roman Jacobson, associated with structuralism, member of the Prague Linguistic Circle, and he proposed the six functions of language 1960 in linguistic and poetics. So one of the six functions is the metalingual function, where languages focuses on itself. That means a meta language talks about the language itself. Okay. Ferdinand de Saussure is also one of the most important linguistic circle we have. Major works we have already solved this. You can see in one video, like in one PDF, we are solving the questions PYQs. This is the PYQs of October 2020, and in the single cycle question paper we can see how many writers whether in the options or related terms repeated. We have solved so many questions. So if you will watch the whole part now, you will definitely going to realize that yes, this is how you can practice. So course in general linguistic 1960, this is the very important work where you are going to find the concept of lang and parole, sign and signifier, signifier and signified language as a system of differences, and many other. So structuralism view language as a system that can be analyzed scientifically, which requires a meta language. That means meta language, the language which talks about the properties of language itself. Another options we have, a technical language which describes the properties of language. This was the correct. So meta language is a technical vocabulary used in linguistics and used to describe grammar, syntax, phonology, semantics. These are the important properties for a language. You can have the example signifier, morpheme, syntax, and phoneme, semantics, semiotics. Second order language was also correct. Meta language is called a second order language because first order language, it's a ordinary language used to communicate, and second language, that's why it became, because it talks about that language. Okay, so that's why it is a second language. Language used to describe that language. Like if we are communicating with other person, why and how, in which type of language we are using, so that language and how it became, this is what meta language talks about that by combining all the syntactical structures, you can say. So this is how you can understand. Be known as a first language. This was incorrect. Why? Because first order language is the object language and the language being discussed. Meta language is not first order, but it is a second order. Remember. So second order language replaces a first order language with metaphors. This was also incorrect. Meta language does not replace first order language with metaphors. Metaphor theory is associated more with Roland Barthes. Remember the work, mythologies, writing degree, zero, etc. Okay. And myth as a second order semiological system. This is, you can eliminate simply all the options. So A and D about the meta language was the correct. Now let's see the question 103. And this question is, Hari wrote a poem on the mountains. Which two of the following are admissible statements about the above sentence? So this is also from the linguistic part. You can see here students are going to be tricked. That which type of question is this? Hari wrote a poem on the mountains. Which two of the following? Here are the terms given. You have to find out that by which two of the followings you can admit by with this statement. So correct answer of this question is B and C only. The sentence is an example of a structural ambiguity and the sentence involves two deep structures. How? Let's understand. So Hari wrote a poem on the mountains. It is mentioned here is structurally ambiguous, not lexically ambiguous. It has two possible syntactic interpretations. If we are going to interpret in two parts by combining, you know the how sentence forms. Complex and compound. Hari wrote a poem about the mountains. Okay. On the mountains modifies poem, prepositional phrase that is attached to noun phrase. You can understand. And Hari wrote a poem while sitting on the mountains. So on the mountains that you can simply described like he was writing about the mountains or he was writing sitting on the mountains. So we are having two statement, two meanings. This ambiguity arises due to different possible phrase structures attachment. So it is not because of ambiguous. This type of ambiguity is discussed in TGG. You can understand the transformational generative grammar that is associated concept with Noam Chomsky. Okay, the one who has given the concept of competence and performance that is actually linked with a sign and a signifier and a signifier. No, Lang and Parole by Saussure, Ferdinand de Saussure. Okay, somehow they try to uh, tell the similarity. Other important works, aspects of the theory of syntax, 1965. Remember, the minimalist program, 1995, and concept associated with deep structure versus surface structure, transformational rules, competence versus performance, generative grammar, and phrase structure rules. So it is by Noam Chomsky. So through Chomsky's model, if we will find, there means there is a different deep structures can generate the same surface structure, and structural ambiguity often implies two deep structures underlying one surface form. That's why you can understand. I will share this PDF on Telegram after the class. Once the class is over, you can revise. And the one I'm going to change the method of. You can simply join the channel by. I will let you know what is going to happen. I will let you know. Okay. The one who are associated with this type of concept, you can remember why C is correct. In transformational grammar, deep structure underlying syntactic representations that encodes meaning and surface structure that is actual spoken or the written form is what we call surface structure. Okay. Since the sentence has two interpretations, that means this sentence you can interpret in two way, like defining two meanings. So Hari wrote a poem on the mountains and Hari wrote a poem on the mountains. There is a two different things you can understand. Two different underlying deep structures, but they result in one surface structure. And this aligns with the Chomsky's theory from aspects of the theory of syntax 1965. Lexical ambiguity is incorrect because lexical ambiguity arises when a single word has multiple meanings. Example, you can say bank, that is the river bank, and financial institution is also known as a bank. And the concept is associated with the Ferdinand de Saussure. Remember the work course in general linguistics. Do not miss the classes. You are going to revise. Remember everything by repeat in a repetition manner, repetition mode or repetition method. Geoffrey Leach is also there, who gave the work Semantics, the study of meaning. 1974. And concept, remember, types of meaning, that is conceptual, connotative, and social. No word itself is ambiguous, he talked about, and the ambiguity arises due to phrase attachment and not word meaning. D was also incorrect because here there is only one surface structure. Hari wrote a poem on the mountains. If there were two, that means Hari wrote a poem about the mountains, or Hari wrote a poem while on the mountains. Then in this uh, way there would be two surface structure. Then this would be the correct. Let's see the next question. This is very, very important. Samuel Pepys diary. In the recent year, we have not seen this question is repeated, but the 5 year questions, I found the Samuel Pepe or one of the questions related to his diary, the event that he has mentioned, and the writer or whatever the work he has mentioned in his diary. So Samuel Pepys diary is also very important. Okay. The question is, which two of the following events are described in Samuel Pepys' diary? The plague in London, the Great Fire of London, the War of Spanish Succession, or the Essex Rebellion? In Samuel Pepys' diary, which two are the most important event he has described about? So you have to find out. Option A and B, that is a plague in London and the Great Fire in London, are the events that he has mentioned. So the plague in London, this refers to the Great Plague of London 1665. Remember the year because somehow they are going to ask in the one line question. I am asking about the year. It is vividly recorded in the diary of Samuel Pepys. Remember, okay, Samuel Pepys was the author and the member of parliament diarist. So he, in his diary, he has recorded some of the events that was actually part of the English literature. So that's why he is NTA framed the questions about him. He was the part of Restoration England, that means during the reign of Charles II. Associated with Restoration culture, eyewitness documentation, and early modern urban history. We will have to bring a separate class on his diary specifically. He has written between 1660 to 69, originally written in shorthand that we called it tychography, provide first-hand account of the Great Plague 1665, London, you can mention the Great Fire, London 1666, you can remember the year 65, Plague School, sorry, Great Plague and the Great Fire. 1666, just you will have to add 1 year. Restoration Court Life and Anglo-Dutch War. So these are the accounts, events that he has mentioned in his diaries. Pepys' diaries described mass burials, social panic, closure of theatres, morality, statistics, and personal fear and survival strategies. So the Great Fire of London, this refers to the Great Fire of London 1666. Pepe provides one of the most detailed contemporary accounts related to this event. He observed the fire from a tower, reports the King Charles II, and describes destruction of St. Paul's Cathedral, and he mentions burning his wine and cheese to protect them. His diary is considered a primary historical document for the Great Fire of London. Okay, Great Fire of London. The War of Spanish Succession. This is not occurred between 1701 to 1714. It is an European conflict over succession to the Spanish throne. Here you will find the Louis XVI of France, Duke of Marlborough, Pepys died in 1703, but his diary only covers 1660 to 1669 long. Remember this year. So after this year, if the question is going to be made or you are going to face, you can simply eliminate. So his diary only covers 1660 to 1609 long before this war began. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Essex Rebellion, this refers to the rebellion led by Robert Devereux, okay, 1601, period reign of Elizabeth I, and it was also occurred before Pepe was even born. Okay, he was born in 1633 and 1601. You can remember it is the period of Elizabethan age where Shakespeare, Marlowe writers we are going to find. So this thing you can also remember and eliminate by remembering the year. Conceptual, sorry, conceptual and historical relevance. Here you must remember Samuel Pepys and literary historical significance. He was the representative of Restoration prose. He provides insight to Restoration theatre, Dryden's time, political transition after Cromwell, urban social history. Okay, and his diary bridges literature and historiography, private writing and public documentation that he was the eyewitness. He is associated with early autobiographical writing, documentary realism, and 17th century prose narrative. Okay, I hope everything is clear to you. So it is all about the Great Fire of London and the Great Plague 1665 and 1666. The writer's date of birth, his death year, everything is mentioned here. So remember the year. Year is very, very important to eliminate the right and the wrong answer. I wanted to finish all the question in one class just because, but now I have to go to cook Ramzan. During Ramzan, we have the workload increases. From 105 question, we will solve and see tomorrow. Okay, so stay tuned, everyone. Subscribe the channel and just share to all the literature students who are preparing for JRF, NET, and thank you so much for your support. Take care of yourself and bye bye.